Balls are back.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown being. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a peon, kind of time we on. Don't roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a whole up class. Hit the gab, I talk that gap. Strut like up, and I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Hit that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Told them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang when they drop in hit. Said on the man, post stop, no miss. Over your head, next time, don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this.
Analyze this image on the screen and bask in its glory. That's all that else needs to be said. Anyway, oi fellow comrades, it's Squidtard here, along with my boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp, also Wolverine, you know who that is. We also got Mr. Julio Rodriguez here tonight, and welcome to episode 81 of the Vol Star Podcast. So, got a lot to talk about today. The sports are blowing up. Look, people can make fun of us all they want to about calling ourselves an everything school, but we're relevant in every single school. So there is a significant lots to talk about today, but before we get to all that, how are my co-hosts doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing fine too.
That's okay. Firstly, before anything else, Lucas, there's it's show and tell today on Lucas's part. He had some free time on his hands, probably too much free time, and decided that he was going to make his own personal custom ink shirt. You guys know how I have my own Squidtard merch over there. Chances are I'll probably get that mainstream pretty shortly. Everybody can get themselves a cool and good hat and everything like that. But Lucas wants to show us today a shirt that he made in honor of the Vol Star Podcast. Lucas, why don't you show us that shirt?
All right, I'm going to have to pull it up from the text group that we have.
Understood. In the meantime, I appreciate everybody for being here. Let's do roll call real quick. We got Even Odd, Young Man Connor, fellow channel member, by the way. Goob, Matt Dummit, don't call me Doom it, damn it. Jemai Meshack Stan. Good to see all of you guys in the comments as well. If you're watching anywhere else, or if you're watching after this is recorded, thank you so much for doing so. We appreciate all the support we get to this channel and a whole lot more. I got some great things in store for you guys. And on this show, we do have a special guest arriving. I know I've said that plenty of times about bringing on special guests on this show, but now I finally delivered. Last week, we had SEC football too, but South Carolina Gamecock on the show. And tonight, approximately 10 so minutes from now, we'll have another guest here on the show with us. Mr. Ramajama Taylor, a fellow Alabama YouTuber, will be joining us here on the Vol Star Podcast tonight. So we'll be looking forward to his appearance as always. All right then. Well, Lucas, you got the shirt ready?
All right. Most of you, I did college football Discord server. If you aren't in that Discord, go ahead and join the Discord server. I think he probably has the link down below for it.
Correct.
So yeah, here it is. Here is the shirt idea.
Let's hold on. Keep that up. We're gonna full screen that.
All right.
Hold on a sec. Bam. All right. Let's full screen that, shall we? Dadgummit, how do I full screen it? There we go. Got it.
I was about to say, Squidtard washed. But yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. See? Bully Lucas Sharp show starring me, Wolverine, Julio, and Squid Loser. I put a picture of each of us.
By the way. 3-1, by the way. But yeah, that very, very nice shirt. Thank you for presenting that to the class. Greatly appreciated there. I'm sure they all love and adore that. That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And I made I don't know if you saw it, Squid, but I made a deal in our little text group that if this stream gets 20 likes, I will buy that shirt.
You heard the man. If this stream gets 20 likes, yes, just 20, that's all. 20 likes, Lucas Sharp will buy that shirt and wear it on stream. So if you'd like to poo, then go to the bathroom. But if you'd like to, I guess, contribute to that, then by all means, hit that like button. Hit it anyway, because that would support the show here. That support the Vol-Star podcast. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll in some of the topics for today. So first off, I guess we'll start out down the bottom and just scroll up to the top. Starting off with the softball team, the Tennessee softball team. Imagine this. The Tennessee softball team is winning again. And that's all they've been doing. They started out early this week with a W over Radford 10-1. And then when they rolled into the Tennessee Invitational, they had 5 games to play, and guess how many they won? That's right, 5. They beat Delaware State 13-0, Indiana State 8-0, UT Martin 10-0. Then they replayed Delaware State, guess what? 11-0. Then they replayed Indiana State, and guess what? 6-0. As repetitive as that sounds, it's just all the proof and more that Tennessee kicks ass in softball. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. What can I say? We do well in at basically every sport. We're relevant in every one of them, like you said at the beginning of the show.
Something tells me we're just built different. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah. We are.
Julio,
Everything's...
thoughts from you, Julio?
I don't really. The only thing that surprised me was that it was all shutouts.
That is true. That is quite surprising. Lucas, you were saying something, though. You go ahead and continue.
Oh, wait. I was?
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying something, and I cut you off. My bad.
Oh, I was... Well, I guess just congrats to the Lady Vols. I know they Carolyn Pickens threw a no-hitter against UT Martin. So, good on her. And, bro, Carolyn Pickens, it seems like if you're in the Volcore Discord server, bro, all they do is simp on Carolyn Pickens.
You see why we don't interact with those people a lot, right? Vol Twitter's kind of the same way. Vol Twitter's filled with a bunch of down bad individuals who have never felt the touch of a woman in their entire life. Not all of them, of course.
They need to go.
Kind of like whenever they were simping for Grand Canyon's head coach.
Yeah. As Connor would say to me when we was playing Fortnite together, these people need to go touch grass.
That's a good way of putting it, really. I mean, that is a legitimately good way of putting it. I mean, all of those people, you could combine all of the people they've actually met on Tinder, and it would equal their IQ 0. Now that, of course, that doesn't go for all of Vol Twitter. I feel like I need to leave that disclaimer in there so that people understand. I mean, I'm good buddies with a few people on Vol Twitter. I mean, but there's one right here, so
yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
Nobody is as bad as Vol Facebook. Agreed.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Can't argue with that.
What are you talking about? Vol Facebook is like the smartest place on earth. True geniuses over there.
I know. Yeah, they're bringing John Gruden's coming back to the Hill. Y'all heard the groomers?
Oh yeah, don't forget. Josh. This is one of my favorites. It'd be something like Josh Heupel and the entire team gets terminal AIDS. The only way to save him is is by showing the 3 digits on the back of your credit card. Like it's that dumb shit. So. Yeah. And somehow 80-year-old people keep falling for it. It's crazy.
I know. It's ridiculous. All I gotta say is Vol YouTube is, in my opinion, is the best type of Vol fans. Vol YouTube. Better than Vol Twitter's pretty good too, but Vol YouTube takes it to another level.
Well, here's what I say. Every single Vol media base has their bad eggs. And that goes for YouTube, that goes for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Pinterest. Is there any I'm missing?
Wait, there's a Vol MySpace?
Probably.
That'd be hilarious. What? Probably only like 2 Vol MySpace people, probably.
Yeah, but there is a fan base. I mean, it wouldn't surprise you. We're everywhere else. So you know what I mean? We're talking about the freaking Rocket League champion school right here. So yes, our influence is everywhere. Hell, we've got our influence has spread so far that we've got our own restaurant, a Tennessee Volunteers restaurant in Japan. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. I saw something about that. That's cool. Yeah. Speaking, I know Julio. He was gonna. You're still going to Japan, right, Julio?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to try to stop by
I'll
there.
stop by. I should take some pictures for the thing.
yeah, that's got to be on the bucket list for sure. That'll be on my bucket list once I go to Japan at some point in time in the future, whenever that may be. But circling back to the topic here, yes, the softball team dominates. They took care of business, and that's all there is to it. So another week will go by where Tennessee softball has no challenges awaiting in their wake. But that's about to change as we're getting into the SEC slate, starting with Georgia. So we'll get to see exactly what this team is made of very, very shortly. Probably by next week, we'll get to see a lot about what this team is really made of. All right, now over to baseball real fast. Let's talk about the baseball team. There's quite a few things we need to go over. Of course, recapping their week. They beat North Alabama, as we all knew they would, but it was a struggle. They did beat them 7-5, though, and took care of business in that game. Along with that, they played in the Astros Foundation College Classic, which, according to several different opposing fan bases, is full of a bunch of nobodies, but there are a few ranked teams in that spot. First off, starting with Oklahoma State, Tennessee beat them 5-2. Then they played Rice. Sorry, Julio. And Tennessee beat Rice 13-3. And then finally, Tennessee finished it out by beating Arizona 5-1. So more domination on the baseball track. And the Vols are now 11-0. One of the only 7 remaining undefeated teams at the FBS level. And baffling to some, but baffling not to many, Tennessee is not ranked number 1 unanimously. There are still some doubters among the voters, and there really isn't much that we can do about that other than continue winning. That's all there is to it.
Just gonna say the supposed number 1 team lost to Omaha.
Yeah.
The irony.
Here's the thing. Elite teams are supposed to lose in Omaha, not to Omaha. So you got to get that straightened out.
Yeah, like I know LSU still won the series, but still, I feel like you gotta give the edge to Tennessee. They've been looking way better than LSU. Tennessee's been looking like the best team in college baseball. I mean, Dean Curley's been playing well. Gavin Keelan has been playing well. Levi Clark, our outstanding freshman.
Stone Lawless has also played great.
Yeah, and then
And
Who
Manny Marin, who he plays good on defense.
yeah, Manny Marin, and then Andrew Fisher.
Marin, I think.
Andrew Fisher, and then that other guy from Ole Miss.
Yeah, Liam Doyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, our next opponent tomorrow will be Radford. The softball team has already played them and dominated them, so I expect the same result. Unfortunately, though, that is not where the tomfoolery ends when it comes to baseball. As we have heard today, actually a few hours ago, we have an update on Alberto Osuna's eligibility, and unfortunately, the NCAA did not cave like we kind of all thought they would. For whatever reason, unlike with Diego Pavia, the NCAA has got a big problem. Now, I think we all know the reason why, but yep, the plot twist to not many people. Alberto Osuna's attempt to play for Tennessee faced a setback when U.S. District Judge Charles Ashley denied his bid for a preliminary injunction. And so, of course, that's all there is to it. Once again, denied his injunction, and that's all there is to it, you know. We tried our best with him, but ain't much else you can do about that.
Yeah, it's sad to see, but I mean, this team will be way better with him, but we're already dang good without him. I mean, but yeah, as young man Connor says, we can't talk anything. Remember, LSU has 7 national championships. Remember?
All right, Nebraska, you want to take that time machine all the way back to the Civil War too? Yeah.
Bro, if I had a dime for every single time an LSU fan brought up those 7 national championships this year, I would be so rich right now. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, we get it. Congratulations, you have 7 national championships, but that was forever ago.
Yeah, again, it's back to the Nebraska thing. The only reason anybody would brag today about being a blue blood is if their program isn't good today. And not to say that LSU's program isn't good, because that would obviously be a stupid statement. It's right now they're not on the level of Tennessee, and they know that, so they got to backtrack and go back to the days of when they were on top of the world.
I was just gonna say they're just upset that right now Tennessee is the face of college baseball, not LSU.
Yeah, and I hope my buddy LSU David Murphy, Lord rest his soul. He's probably gonna smite me from above for talking about this. But whenever we talk about LSU football, and about how he's like, Tennessee sucks, and I'm like, okay, 40-13. Remember that time we rolled up into Baton Rouge and beat the hell out of you? Oh yeah, well, where's your 2019 season? That's damn.
It's ridiculous. I never even understood, like, why. I don't know why they keep bringing up those 7 natties. I mean, USC has 12 national championships in baseball. Does that mean USC is better than LSU today?
Must be. I don't know. Hey, Yale and Harvard have a bunch of natties in football. Does that mean they're the best 2 teams in the country?
I guess so. I guess so.
Hey, well, at least LSU has national championships. They're not like Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other teams who are more blue blood than Arkansas. Holy Cross is more blue blood. Minnesota, Rice.
Yeah, Rice in 2000.
Coastal Carolina. Speaking of which, congrats to Coastal Carolina, by the way, baseball team. They're ranked for like the first time in forever. So shout out to my boys over there at Coastal Carolina.
What he said. I wish if we had the time, I could go through and show you guys all these comments I got from these Nebraska fans in the Nebraska video. It did exactly as I expected it to. There were some cool Nebraska fans who, took the jokes and found them all funny, but you had a salt bath full of Nebraska fans who are running. Oh, yeah, remember that one time in 1997? No, I wasn't born then. I wasn't born in 1997. I don't know why people ask me to remember 1997. It's clear from my voice that I wasn't alive back in 1997. I don't know why you tell me that. I can't remember something that I was never there to witness.
Well, it's the same thing with me. I'm the oldest here, and I was born in 98. And so...
Oh, yeah? Well, do you remember the Civil War? Remember when that happened? Remember that one time?
Do you remember what? Yeah. Do you remember when the Titanic sunk?
Remember when Christopher Columbus sailed his boat all the way into America? Remember that? Remember all that? No! I wasn't alive for it. Now, Hunter Renfroe was, but that's beside the point. All right, then. Well, enough of that. Let's move on to basketball, shall we? First off, let's talk about the Lady Vols. And this is 2 sides of the same coin here. I see you in the back room, Taylor. I'm going to drop you in just a second, buddy. First off, we got to go ahead and talk about the Lady Vols for just 1 second. Bad week for the Lady Vols. Really, really bad week. Probably one of the worst we've seen with Kim Caldwell. Starts out with getting blown out, not just lost to, but getting blown out by Kentucky 82-58. And then to make matters worse, just a couple of days ago, Tennessee lost to Georgia in basketball. 72-69 was the final score of that one. We even took a hit in the injury bug. Talatisia Cooper was sidelined due to an ankle injury, so big loss there. But it's just a really, really bad week to finish out the regular season for the Lady Vols. As we get into the SEC tournament, we'll be ranked number 9, which means we will be playing in the first round against number 16 Texas A&M. On March the 5th, so 2 days from now, and they should win. They very well should win, but will they? That is the question.
I don't know. I mean, if they can lose to a bad team like Georgia, because Georgia's not good. They have a losing record.
Yeah.
That is a bad loss.
Bad, real bad.
I mean, I can understand losing to Kentucky because Kentucky's ranked, but no, Georgia, no, that is a bad loss. You cannot be losing. You cannot be losing to teams like that. I will take. I will not. I won't be too hard on it though, because it's Kim Caldwell's first year. She's still trying to get it figured out, and she's got some really good recruiting classes coming in, and I think it's going to get better. But still, you can't be losing to teams like Georgia.
Yep. Here, let me be Vol Twitter for a second. Oh, we lost the game. Fire her ass! Fire her ass! Fire her ass! There you go. They're Vol Twitter for you.
Yep, Connor already saying it. Fire Kim Caldwell. We want change.
Yep, change is needed. Yep. Don Staley or nothing. Don Staley or sell the program. There you go. There you go. Julio, you got any words on that? Not on the fire her ass, because that's obviously, we're not dumbasses. So, but any words on the?
I guess I'll just move the goalposts like all the other teams do. They don't have 8 national championships.
Oh yeah, you're right. I remember when we lost to Kentucky. What I will say though, the good part on Tennessee fans is that they started bragging to Kentucky fans. They was like, "Is this the part where we bring up our Final Fours and national championships?"
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's a good point.
Funny enough, they mentioned that because Kentucky has never made a Final Four.
Yeah, what he said. All right. I feel like we've touched on that long enough. Before we get any further, it's time to go ahead and drop in our special guest here tonight on the show, because we've got these 2 sports to talk about, and we're mainly going to touch on football, as he's a major football fan. In fact, he's already told me he hasn't really watched all that much basketball. Certainly hope he was watching this weekend, but we'll figure that out in a second. Let me introduce to the panel Mr. Ramajama Taylor. How's it going, Taylor?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good to see you on the Volstar podcast as always, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing fairly good, man. How about yourself? It's been a while since we last talked.
Tis has been a while. We used to always hang out in BVD streams, but it's good to have you on the show, buddy.
Well, thank you for having me on here. How you guys doing? Wolverine, Julio?
Doing
good.
good.
Pretty good, man.
What's up?
What's up?
Spectacular. All right. Well, now that we've got the crew in here, let's move on to basketball. Now, tell me this, Taylor. Did you watch the game?
Actually, no, I was working, but I know it was a damn buzzer. It was a damn buzzer beater. I know.
Dang.
Go ahead and talk about
I
it.
was really hoping to rub that one in.
Oh yeah,
No, you can't.
Swing and a miss on your part, Squid.
Yeah, you got me there. We should have gotten Roll Tide Willie on here.
Yeah, he may have done it. He may have got on here with you.
Oh no, don't ever bring that guy on.
That's called instant migraine. No, thank you.
No, that dude's literally the definition of brain rot.
True story. I met him. I bumped into him. He was actually really cool. It seems like, it's a kind of I'm not going to say persona, but persona. Like he kind of puts it on a little bit.
I'd be willing
sure.
to bet he is. That would make no sense if he didn't.
Did he scream into your face? I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
No, I think he was tired that day. He was pretty
Too
wore
tired
down.
to do it. He probably had people come up to him and say like, "Hey man, hey, can you do the thing? Can you say you don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, please?" Like he probably had that going on.
No doubt.
The mini paparazzi people piss me off, so I don't understand where he's coming from. But yeah, real quick, just touching on the weekend of the Tennessee men's basketball team. We beat LSU earlier in the season in Baton Rouge, 65-59. Good win right there. And then, of course, the win over Alabama, which we just touched on. Sakai Ziegler had 17 points. We already know the story about Jemai Meshak's buzzer beater, and I will continue to be playing that every time we talk about Alabama.
And congrats.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't watch it, but congrats.
Thank you. Appreciated. And from my perspective, now that Tennessee has moved up to number 4 in the AP poll, it's very possible that we could very well end up with a 1 seed in the tournament as long as we perform in the SEC tournament. That makes sense.
Yeah,
to you guys?
Joe Lenardi and all the other bracketologists already have Tennessee as the last 1 seed on the line.
All right.
Yeah, so if we beat Ole Miss and we beat South Carolina, we should get the 1 seed depending on how things work out in the SEC tournament.
As long as things work out, huh?
All we got to do is beat South Carolina, Ole Miss. What could go wrong?
And then everything goes. We know how this goes. Everything goes wrong.
And then it's the Chowder meme. Oh no, it all went wrong.
Every time, every sport imaginable.
That's true.
All we got to do is beat this one lowly team, and then all of our hopes and dreams will be right in front of us. And then what happens? Gone, shattered.
You know, the thing is, we're probably going to lose to South Carolina.
Oh, it would be. Oh my god. Like how they ruined our 2022 season in football.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You play South Carolina, or is that
no? It's at home.
Okay.
Well, I feel like the biggest troll of the century would be if we managed to beat both of them, like a runner-up in the SEC tournament. Don't win it, but get like second place. Go into the tournament as a 1 seed, and then lose to the 16 seed. That would be the ultimate troll job right there.
I don't see it happening unless it's like a 2023 Fairleigh Dickinson.
I was actually talking to Lucas about this whenever he was bringing up what was the 16 seed we were hypothetically matched up with?
I think it was Omaha.
Yeah. I said it would be the most Tennessee thing to win a national championship in Omaha and then lose in the first round to the basketball tournament to Omaha.
Certified Tennessee moment right there. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a clear consensus on where we'll be laying next week. One last thing before we move on to football. And this is recruiting news for men's basketball. 5-star Nate Ament, the number 3 overall recruit, has locked down his top 5 teams for his top 5 schools to recruit to. And it's Tennessee for 1. That's why we're talking about it, along with Arkansas, Duke, Kentucky, and Louisville. He's scheduled to make his commitment on April Fool's of all days. So cross your fingers. That's all we can do from this point onwards.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, let's go ahead and talk about football, shall we? Because there is a lot to touch on. First off, real quick, some news about the NFL Combine. We had some results come in, some big-time results, actually. And funny enough, most of those funny results came from the man, the absolute legend, the literal beast, known as James Pierce Jr. To give you some stats for you, the 40-yard dash, he actually broke the record for defensive ends. He managed to get that in 4.47 seconds. That is that's first place among any of the defensive ends in the country, or all time, actually. Then he did it again with the 10-yard split with a 1.56 second victory right there. Also first among defensive ends. Then vertical jump, he made 31 inches. And then the broad jump, 10 feet 3 inches. So pretty good day. Pretty good day for him, I'd say. To pretty much sum it down the best way that I can. And the good news continues. Dante Thornton did some stuff too. 40-yard dash, 4.30 seconds. Vertical jump, 33 inches. And broad jump, 10 feet 6 inches. So good day by Dante Thornton as well. Of course, the other contributors are Omar Norman Lott, Elijah Simmons, Dylan Sampson, and Brew McCoy. All did some pretty good stuff as well. So there's a recap right there, a quick recap of what went down in the NFL Combine. A really, really good week for a lot of those players. Any reactions from you guys on that?
Other than the James Pierce, I thought he would have one of the fastest times. I didn't know if he would be the fastest or run a 4.47, but it didn't really surprise me that much, though.
Right.
I was expecting like a 4.52 probably.
Something
But
like
That's
that.
pretty sweet, though.
Well, everybody in here knew that like that dude was an absolute machine among men from start to finish. I mean, everybody knew that years ago, and he really showed his potential in the draft. So whoever picks him up is a good. They're gonna have a really, really good defensive end on their hands.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of who. I mean, the first question I ask is, how are the Titans going to fumble it up like they always do?
Funny
okay.
enough, they were talking about James Pierce possibly falling out of the first round or whatever, because of something that happened in high school or something like that. And I said, I swear to God, if he goes to the Eagles.
No, they put all their coins on Georgia players. That's all they care about. They're the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
The Philadelphia Mickey Mouses.
Yeah. Come inside. It's fun inside. All right, then. Well, enough of that. That's all the news there is for football. Now, Taylor, the reason I wanted to bring you on here, buddy, is so here on the Vol-Star podcast, we did this last week with South Carolina. We actually went through and did a schedule preview of their upcoming season, and Alabama's got a hefty one coming, and we wanted to hear from your point of view exactly what you expect Alabama's going to do. So I'm really interested to see how it pans out. I'm going to put up the schedule on the screen in just a second. And before you even see it, what are your thoughts on Alabama last season? What did you think about? I know it was a down year for Alabama standards. 4 losses for the first time in a very long time. Got to be a new feeling for Alabama fans such as yourself, who have been so used to success for so long. What did you think about that?
When you have success for so long, just to have that is rare in itself in the college football world because it's a very hard competition. It's a competitive sport, and a lot of things fall into that. But my overall thoughts on last year, you couldn't have had high expectations. Any sane person, I can't speak for everybody, but I can only speak for myself. I had high expectations to a certain degree, but I knew we were losing some games. New coach coming in, whole new staff. I knew we were in a transition point. So just to see that unfold was, of course, you want to win every game. I mean, that's everybody, right? But I feel a whole lot more confident about this upcoming season. DeBoer's got some experience. I think, I don't know. I'm thinking Ty Simpson might be the man, unless someone competes for the job and outperforms him. But I think it'll be Ty Simpson, and I think he'll do us wonders, way, way better than what Milroe could have done for us if he came back, which kind of glad, Milroe, do your thing, buddy. See you later.
Future Tennessee Titan.
No. Please,
I don't hate Jalen Milroe though, but we need a different style quarterback right now.
Yeah. Jalen Milroe, he was so inconsistent. One game he played like, he was like the front runner up for the Heisman. Next game he played like he didn't even know what he was doing.
Very accurate. Very, very accurate to say so myself. Especially against sort of the really good defenses. Milroe sort of crumbled, especially against defenses that are known for attacking a dual threat quarterback. That one really gets ugly.
And he had no pocket presence whatsoever. And I don't even know what he was doing on most plays, but I mean, I'm a fan, not a critic, but sometimes you got to be a little bit of a critic.
Well, see, the thing that always surprised me is that, usually with dual threat quarterbacks, they usually struggle with the deep ball, but can make, short to medium throws. But Milroe is one of the ones that, he struggles making the short to medium throws, but he excels at actually hitting the deep ball whenever it hits.
Well, against Tennessee's defense, for example, poor Milroe, he couldn't even see the light of day. They were on his ass every single play, and we saw it for ourselves. And it was he had a really, really good performance against teams like Georgia, a subpar performance against Vandy, and then
Oh God.
yeah. Sorry to remind you of that.
Yeah,
you did
thanks.
lose to Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's the number 1 team in the country. That I feel that. But yeah. Anyway.
Pain.
Yeah, feel that. Like even it wasn't just Tennessee, of course. I mean, Michigan did something similar. South Carolina too. They both all of them sort of fell under that same path of just
Right.
shutting down Milroe almost completely. If it weren't for Ryan Williams, it would be completely.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't forget he was 17 years old last season.
No way, really? If only we had a commentator that could have told us that.
Well, let me remind you.
Hey, but now it's different because you know why? He's only 18. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, you just better wait. He's coming back, boys.
Oh yeah, no.
He's a straight thug.
We all knew he was coming back. There was no way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be a lot better than last season.
I would imagine he's definitely going to be better.
That's got me really excited.
He's only going to keep getting better.
Yeah, from the looks of it.
Yeah, him and Jeremiah Smith.
That draft class in like 2 years is going to be insane with Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith.
Absolutely monstrous.
He's happy where he's at. I'm glad he's happy where he's at. I hope he doesn't ever leave.
Jeremiah Smith, future Titan.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a good chance that, like Devontae Smith, that man could potentially win another Heisman Trophy for Alabama in the wide receiver core. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Not saying it's certain, especially since Jeremiah Smith's going to be around too, and you already know how them Heisman voters love them some Ohio State. So it's going to be a battle. That's what I think. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, now that we've talked about Alabama from last season, it's time to talk about this season. And the schedule is really, really interesting for Alabama. So I'm going to show it here in the live chat, and then I'll present it here on the screen so that you guys can see. Because it is quite the spectacular thing to look at here. So, all right. So starting out, thank you, by the way, for playing a spring game. A lot of teams aren't doing that nowadays.
Are they getting like what's going to happen with spring games? Are they doing away with it? Or is it just like up to the university?
Right now, it's up to the university. I have no idea what they're doing in the future, but a lot of these other schools are just being pansy asses. I mean, Michigan has said that they are doing a spring game, so it's not like everybody's following the trend, thankfully. But it's dumb, and I could definitely see Tennessee doing that. But if it weren't for the money. But,
True.
Yeah. But again, why would they cancel it if they're making so much money off of it?
Yeah,
That's what's weird.
I mean, you can make all the money in the world, charging $15 for a hot dog like they do down here.
Well,
Jeez.
the only excuse that has been found was good old Giga Vagina 9000, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They're out there going like, oh, we're afraid that if they see our players in the spring game that they're going to tamper in our roster and make them hit the transfer portal. Like, they could do that any day of the week. What's going to change if they suddenly see a spring game? It's like, oh wow, I had no interest in this guy before, but now everything has changed. Get me him. Like
If that's the point, if that's the case, then let's just go back to the old fucking way. Excuse my French, but I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. All right, then, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get into the schedule here. So, starting out, you play the Grand Commissioner of Diarrhea, or at least last season's Grand Commissioner of Diarrhea, the Clowns of the Season. You're going into Doak Campbell Stadium to play Florida State, the Florida State Seminoles. How you feeling about that one?
Pretty good. I feel, yeah.
But you also got to keep in mind, Florida State is really good against SEC teams and openers.
Well, they're good against teams named LSU.
Yeah, LSU. That's it.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I mean,
I caught on.
Alabama. They're not losing to 2-10 University.
Yeah.
No.
LSU hasn't won a season opener in 90 years. So yeah, no. So that all there is to say is that Bama should absolutely take care of that one. And if they don't and they wound up losing, it could be really, really bad, like off the rails bad. So we'll mark that one down as a win from everybody's perspective. We won't go through game by game. We'll just sort of preview what the schedule looks like. Louisiana Monroe, we kind of all know how we're going to feel about that. Although, remember that one time? Remember one time
yeah.
ago? Yeah. Good. Shout out to Law Tide one time.
One time.
Yeah. And then after that, we got Wisconsin. Or Alabama's got Wisconsin. I say we. What's wrong with me? But anyway, Wisconsin. Of course, Alabama went into Wisconsin last season and beat the hell out of Luke Fickell. Well, now Luke Fickell is heading into Tuscaloosa, and we don't really know what to expect with Wisconsin in year 3 of him, because it has not panned out as well as they expected it would so far. Any thoughts from you, Taylor?
Home game. I don't know if they can handle it. It's going to be loud. I think it's going to be kind of the same game we saw last year. Maybe a little different. You never know, but I think this is a dub for sure. 3 straight dubs so far. Then we hit the bye week.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the bye week. How about this one? This is a matchup of the century right here. And just like last season, as expected, both of these teams have bye weeks. Alabama going into Sanford Stadium to play the Georgia Bulldogs. And as we're pretty much all in agreement that this game is going to be a night game under the lights in Sanford Stadium. So it's going to be a good one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we're going back down to the bushes. Not a place where we haven't been before. This one couldn't go either way. Who knows? We might ball out, storm out with that W. But this one, right now, the season hasn't even started, so I'm just going to say it can go either way right there. Now, I'll let you give your thoughts, and then we'll go on to the next one. I think you might like what I have to say on that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mickey Mouse, this is going to be a great game. It's going to be really tough for Bama because you already know George is going to be hungry for revenge. So right now, if I had to guess, I'm leaning towards like 35%, 40% chance of Alabama winning that game. So we'll see how it goes. All right, next up, in Tuscaloosa, the team that dropped you last season that nobody expected would do so, the Vanderbilt Commodores coming to town. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one to watch. Diego Pavia coming back for another year. They might be a better team overall next year than they were this last season. So I gotta hear from you, Taylor. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, those are the facts right there. You just heard it from Squid. They're gonna be in a better position by the time they play us. I just hope we're in a better position by the time we play them. Because if, let's say, we come off an L down at Sanford Stadium and then they catch us slipping, RJT is going to be flipping. Oh. So let's hope this goes right. We got to fill out the C's first. You know, we got to test the C's. We haven't even gotten the waters yet, but I expect proceed with caution. That's all that's the way I'm looking at it. Proceed with caution.
A good way of putting it.
Yeah.
All right, next up after that, the Vanderbilt game. You're going on the road into Columbia, not South Carolina, Columbia. That one's the game afterwards or after Tennessee. But firstly, on the road at Missouri going up against Eli Drinkwitz. And y'all put the whooping on him last season. So, you know, where is Missouri going to be this year since Brady Cook and they're losing Brady Cook, Luther Burden. I'm really interested to see where Missouri lies, if they're going to go back to being sort of that mid-tier, SEC team, or if they can sort of come back. What is your perspective on that, though?
I don't think Missouri's going to have a good season at all this year. If I'm being honest, so they can prove us wrong, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And then, oh boy, The Tennessee Volunteers coming to town in Tuscaloosa. Of course, Tennessee had a great year last season, beat Alabama in Knoxville. But heading back down to Tuscaloosa, Tennessee has not won in Alabama since 2003. So it's been over 20 years since Tennessee's last win in the old Gump Dump. So Taylor,
basically, you Tennessee fans are like, so you're telling me there's a chance?
okay. Somewhere.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
Don't touch our goalpost.
We'll
That's
try.
the first rule.
We'll try.
Because they're pretty strict down here. We might have to fine you.
I mean, is there a river near your stadium?
Yes.
Then, yeah, your goalpost might be in trouble.
Well, there's gonna be a fine there.
It's going to turn into a brawl down there. Alabama fans
They
are
were
going to be
in-
trying to defend it. It's going to be like
Money.
It's going to be like freaking Clash Royale, like a freaking Fortnite battle zone down there of Tennessee.
Might be a world war.
Yeah, new Call of Duty map right there.
Jesus. I'm excited. I don't know, like for this game, it might come down to 3 overtimes, you know. Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows, or more. But God, I hope we beat y'all. But what if this is like a back and forth, like Alabama, Tennessee, and it's just a constant
Right
enhanced
now,
version of what it used to be, like a rivalry, like where we can really hate each other, you know?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Alabama Tennessee is typically a streaky rivalry. It's kind of weird that we've
Yeah.
traded wins back and forth for 3 years now. That's only happened like 2 other times in the series history. Most other times, Alabama or Tennessee usually string off like 4 to 5 wins usually.
right. So it's gonna be really tough, I think, because here's the problem, and I've addressed this many a times before. But Tennessee's offense has a tendency of getting extremely soft and predictable on the road. So if that's how it's going to go, then I'm expecting another defensive slugfest where it's just going to be two offenses just struggling the entire time to see which one can outwit the other by the end of it. So I guess we'll find out how it goes. It's going to be the battle of the turnovers, I bet. Cody Hankins is in here, the Alabama troll, as always, with the insanity. Alabama is going undefeated in the 2025 football season, winning national championship. I don't know if he means national championship with an S, as if they're winning multiple national championships in 1 year. But good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's all I can say. Rocky's also here. What's up, Rocky? All right. So after all that mess, if we manage to get past that, this one is going to be brutal. I already know it. South Carolina in Williams-Brice Stadium. This is probably the most stacked South Carolina team we've seen in 15 years. And unlike the days of Muschamp and a 90-year-old man with Alzheimer's, I mean, this is, Shane Beamer. He's got a stacked roster with a stacked team. They can really, really go places because they'll probably be better than they were last season. And they were just one reverse pick six away from making it to the college football playoffs. So this is going to be a big-time challenge. South Carolina's got a lethal defensive line. Lenora Sellers is a great quarterback and has already shown potential with them. I mean, this is going to be an extremely tough game. And it's a road test. So what are your odds here?
Games like this make me nervous because, like you said, it's a road test. Oh man, either one or two ways, but I hope we can come out of that and hit that much needed bye week. Whether we win or not, that bye week is really gonna jolt us, as you see what goes on down the list there. But yeah, this is another proceed with caution. We might get messed up. I hope we're in a good position coming out of that third Saturday in October. Or it could be a total upset. But I think we can handle South Carolina. It's going to be a tough one. road test. So maybe not a trap game, but potentially.
We've seen it many times before in rivalry games, but like in the Tennessee-Alabama case, say Tennessee winds up beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa, then they beat you twice. Basically, you go in demoralized against South Carolina and lose that game as well. That basically means you got to win out the rest of the season and win the rest of the games on the table in order to make the playoffs. So it's going to be really tough. Next one you got here is after the bye week, the second bye week. Of course, another big-time rivalry game. You're hosting them this time, the LSU Tigers. You beat the crap out of them down in Baton Rouge last season, and now they're coming up to Tuscaloosa in what I think is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Now, I do think, and I think everybody else can agree with me on this, LSU is already favored as a preseason top 10 team, which I cannot understand. Like, what have they done other than have a successful year back in 2019? We have Brian Kelly, Squidtard. Like, what? Come on now. Come on. So I don't think LSU is a top 10 team. They'll probably still give Bama a challenge. I don't know. What do you think, Taylor?
Absolutely not. They're gonna give up the corn dogs.
Oh boy.
We'll take that W.
I bet, yeah. But did you know LSU has 7 national championships in baseball? That's what we care about. That's what we care about. That's all they seem to care about. They got you there, huh? Ooh. Yeah. We gonna do about that. Next up after that, and this is a very important one too, because I know how deep revenge goes down there in Tuscaloosa, and this is going to be a really fun game to watch because Oklahoma is rolling down there to Alabama. So it's going to be really interesting because they've got a brand new quarterback who is actually a quarterback and not a glorified running back. John Mateer from Washington State, I think, can do some noise there. Or Brent Venables completely crashes and burns. We're going to find out pretty soon and pretty quick if he can sort of, I guess, relinquish all of his demons, because he pretty much has to in order to keep his job next season. So, what are the odds that you think that they go into Alabama and beat y'all?
I'd say it would be, they'll start off for sure with an aerial attack. And our defense is going to have to step up big time in that game, make big plays. Saw how they played last year, and we shut it down. We already knew what was going on, so.
Oh yeah.
We got to be careful with them. But I think we can do it again. We can shut down the Sooners and Bryant Denny.
All right. And then after that, you play, McDonald's McGriddle East, and then after that, you get the old Iron Bowl going on the road into Jordan-Hare to play Auburn. And before you mark this one down as a win off the bat, remember what they did to you back in 2023. I mean, you needed a miracle game-winning Hail Mary in order to win that ball game. So this ain't going to be easy, I don't think. Hugh Freeze, I mean, think about the position he's in. He's in a similar position to Brent Venables, where, he's just sort of praying for a good year. Otherwise, he could have his shit packed up and out of Jordan-Hare. So, to me, I think this is really, really important for Auburn. What you think's going to happen?
Same thing every year. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving and smack talk on the field, and they get their feelings into it. I mean, because it's a big rivalry game. It's going to be every game we play in the Iron Bowl is just about a damn insane game. You don't know what's going to happen. It can go into overtime. It can go into this. It could be got a second, like in 13. I mean, there's all kinds of games with unique stories within them, and there's going to be a story in that game, in this Iron Bowl, as there is every year. So they're going to come on strong. So I think it's going to be very, very competitive, and we just got to get out of it and survive 4 quarters.
That's a good way of putting it. So now that we've recapped their schedule, kind of talked about what we think is going to happen in those games, I guess we'll go across the room. Taylor, I'd like to hear from you first. Rocky actually said Rocky said Alabama's going 7-5 this year, losing to Oklahoma, Auburn, Vandy, Georgia, and Tennessee. You guys are losing 5 games. And based on for your reaction, I don't think you think that they're going 7-5 this year.
What gave that away?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. So, based off of all that, yeah, not 7-5.
No 7-5.
No 7-5. Gotcha. So
I'm going to tell you right now. 11-2 or
11-2.
Or I mean, we went 10-3 last year, right?
Yeah, after the bowl. No, we went 9-4.
I really think that at the bare minimum, we'll lose no more than 2 games, and that's putting us up there. And I'm not just doing that as a fan. I think that we have a lot of great talent coming back, a lot of new talent coming in, and I think DeBoer can kind of put together what he wants to put together, and it was really hard for him to do that last season. I mean, obviously, but I think the longer DeBoer has the blueprints, I mean, he's gonna come up with something, man. Milroe is just not his guy. That was not part of his cards. I just know that. So be looking out. But I like it when people say we're going in 7-5. I like that though. It's excited.
What if Bama actually did go 7-5? Fire DeBoer immediately.
That's probably what a lot of people would start saying. Fire him.
Oh my gosh! Imagine 7-5, lose 5 games in the regular season. The outrage from Bama Twitter would be immaculate. It would be unlike anything they've already started. I've seen a guy on here on YouTube already go, you know what? I need to find me a new hobby after watching this season. I think I'm going to move over to NASCAR. I mean, all of the narratives that you've heard about Alabama fans, in some cases, are not just narratives straight from somebody's asshole. Like there's truth to that.
I mean, a lot of Alabama fans are spoiled, though. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think whenever you were talking about them going 7-5, I think the worst season they ever had was they win. Didn't y'all lose to Hawaii one year in like the early 2000s? I think. You're probably not old enough to remember that.
I was a baby then.
But yeah, I think they went like 4-9, and instead of playing a bowl game, they played a 13th game and then lost to Hawaii in Hawaii after going 4-8.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
the 3 Mikes era.
I don't think things are going to get that bad.
I was about to say, hey, that's I was barely old, barely, I was like 3 when it happened. I think it was like 2000, 2001. So I was like, things can always be a lot worse. So just try to keep perspective.
Right on.
Exactly. Well, I mean, from my perspective, this is a pretty tough schedule that Bama's having to face. This is not, people say, oh, the SEC is not as good as it used to be. But even if that's true, it still ain't no ACC. It ain't no tank conference. It ain't an easy. It's not an easy schedule to play against. So, Bama's gonna have their money. Now that they're not, running the conference like they used to be, like above everybody else by a significant margin with coaching and talent advantages everywhere. It's gonna be a tough road for them. The SEC is going to be cannibalizing each other just like they did last season. And Bama, to me, I think Bama's going to have to kind of do what happened with South Carolina, but the opposite. Instead of get unlucky, get lucky, is what I mean. They've got the talent, I think, to sort of get where they want to go. It's just going to be a matter of, can they utilize said talent? So to me...
Dude, it's going to take us a couple years to adjust this NIL stuff and all this crap, man.
Right. Well, one other thing that I think cost Alabama some games last year and almost cost them the Georgia game is Kalen DeBoer's clock management. I do not know who taught him how to manage a clock. I don't know if Josh Heupel taught him how, but both of them need to enroll into the Nick
That was
Saban
very
slash
frustrating.
Nick Saban and slash Bill Belichick clock management class.
I bet the Pac-12 taught him.
Jeez, that was annoying. I mean, something as simple as, hey,
Also,
don't know.
Mario Cristobal should also be in that too.
Mario Cristobal needs to be in a lot of things. I think clock management, while it is a situation there, I think there's more important things to deal with Miami.
Yeah. It's like that college football 25 game. He used all of his points on recruiting.
Yeah, when Carson Beck is the top thing of your team, that's bad news. Just throwing that out there. I don't think Carson Beck's the worst quarterback ever, but when that's the peak of your performance, you've got some things to work on.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially without the defense, Baylor. I mean, with Miami's defense being as bad as it was last year, like, what's changed going into this year? Especially without Cam Ward.
But sir, Carson Beck is a national championship.
Got carried by a bunch of really good players.
Yeah, at least
Just like Stetson Bennett did.
At least we can all agree
the
that
thing is-
it ain't Georgia.
Well, I was just saying that because he was a backup. It's kind of like whenever Alabama fans are like, AJ McCarron did win them. It's like, well, he technically won through. It's like, guys, he was a backup for one of them. It's like I know technically he did win 3, but it's like,
yeah. Well,
He had some good receivers too, like Norwood.
Oh yeah.
Other guy's name I can't remember. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say about Alabama, to summarize from my perspective, while I mean this team is probably overall better than it was last year without all the transfers being missing. You're gonna have a lot more time to adjust with the players that DeBoer's actually brought in. So that'll make the team, I think, overall better. But this schedule is probably harder than it was last season. So, in my perspective, I think we're going to be seeing a repeat of last season. 9-3, just shy of the playoffs. Bama fans all over the internet crying about it. But I think that you could probably end up winning your bowl game over losing it. So 10-3, not a bad season in my opinion.
I was thinking that's probably I don't know. I mean, I think 9-3. I was sitting here kind of
factually, like we're not going 7-5.
Right. The Bama
Well, no, I
executive-
wasn't
can hear
saying 7-5.
I can hear somebody's phone ring, and the Bama executives are calling into the show. They want answers immediately.
They heard 7-5 and were like, we got to make.
The athletic director's about to tell me all about his strength of schedule.
Yeah.
I'm bugged. They can hear everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
that
don't.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't see like 5 losses on that schedule. I mean, I could see Alabama probably losing to like Georgia, Tennessee, and probably South Carolina as well. But besides those, I don't see any other losses, to be honest with you.
I was trying to think. I was trying to see if I could find a 4th loss, but I was like, I don't think I can.
Maybe LSU, but not Auburn. I mean, well, it is in Jordan Hare. Auburn always plays Bama tough in Jordan Hare, but
Yeah.
when they play in Tuscaloosa, though, it seems like Bama always blows them out in Tuscaloosa.
Them's the facts. So I guess we're all in sort of that same consensus. Well, except for Taylor, he actually took the above on that. Picked him to go 10-2, 9-3 across the board. for
I
the
mean,
rest of us.
the thing is, I also could see a world where Bama goes like 10-2, 11-1, but.
Yeah, well, if they go into Sanford after the bye week and beat Georgia, then everything I've said is moot, because by that point, Bama will have complete control of the SEC.
And then they go out and lose to
But then
Vanderbilt
again,
again.
they also
God, that would suck.
did beat Georgia last year, even though it was at home, and they proceeded to fall apart. So I mean, you never know.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, real quick, the comments. Do you think College Game Day will be in Knoxville when Georgia comes? I'd be willing to bet that would be the case. as long as neither one of them falls off. Like if we lose to Syracuse or something like that, or Georgia loses to whoever the hell they play week 1.
Like I've said before, guys, get ready for a Syracuse to make the college football playoff. I'm pushing the Q's college football playoff agenda because I know it's probably going to happen.
Here's the
Every
thing.
time we play, almost every time we play one of these ACC teams in a out of conference game, they are almost always really good teams. The only team that had like a down season, um, the year we played was Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
That's literally the only team I could think of that we played on a neutral site that was out of conference, and that was not good.
Well, here's what I know. When we do our group of 5 roulette, and Taylor, this is something you don't know, but what we're doing this year is the 3 of us are making a bet like we did last season. I picked UTEP, he picked Central Michigan, and Julio picked Rice. And whichever team of those 3 was going to have the best record, they receive a lump sum of money that we put into a pile. And Julio won because
On a technicality.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he's as you can tell, he's not too happy about it. So what we're doing this year is rather than us picking the team, we're going to be spinning a wheel out of all the group of 5 teams and hope that it lands on the best team possible. Now we're removing like Boise State, like obviously the top contenders. So one thing I hope is that it's not Charlotte, because poor Charlotte.
Oh
man.
God,
Poor Charlotte. They got to play Appalachian State, North Carolina, Georgia, Tulane, Army, South Florida. I mean, they have got a gauntlet. Whoever ends up getting Charlotte, they might as well just never talk about the bet and just might as well hand somebody $20 or something.
Yeah, hopefully nobody gets Charlotte. Honestly, I hope I get Coastal Carolina. That's who I hope I get. I know they are really good right now,
Unless it's college football 25, and in that case, Charlotte goes to the college football playoff. Like it.
If it's college football 25, Charlotte, then yeah, give me Charlotte.
That's bad news for Taylor, because then Alabama actually does go 7-5. That's what they did in mine. We were playing the Targaryen Dynasty, and Alabama went like 5-7. So
probably the funniest thing I ever witnessed in Dynasty was Tennessee won a national championship. I think it was like year 1 or 2, and Alabama had 3 losses, and they lost to Tennessee all 3 times. They lost in the regular season, lost the SEC championship, and then lost in the national championship.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen in real life.
If that happened in real life, I would imagine most Alabama fans would go and try to find the nearest bridge just so they could jump off of it.
yeah, it'd go a little something like this.
Why, man? Why? My day is now ruined.
5-1.
My day is now ruined. Okay, you why'd you have to play that clip?
Am I not? Is it not true?
Okay, it is true. It is
There
true.
you
I'll
go.
give you that.
That was seriously one of the most hilarious things I've ever witnessed in simulation. I'm sorry, but I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. I was like, I couldn't believe it, because usually Tennessee's like really bad in sim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's a comment I'm sure we all can agree on. Young Man Connor says Auburn sucks.
Yes.
Yeah,
He said it, but
I concur.
yeah.
their basketball fans are pretty bad.
But
That's
they're
awesome.
they're a blue blood. They're a blue blood.
They are not no freaking blue blood.
In what sport?
Oh, I know. I mean, I was
But
joking.
Auburn's an everything school, remember?
Yeah. No. Everything school goes 5-7 in football, and has to rely on Hugh Freeze for it.
Everything school is getting blown out in damn near every sport.
Yeah. Like, literally, they're only good at men's basketball and what else? Golf? Is that the only 2 sports they're good at?
Man, we a golf team, sir. We a golf team. You know, I would actually support this. We need to have, if we were thinking of a new club sport or just a new sport in general, we need to make college golf cart racing. I'm telling you right now, and I think all of you guys can agree with me on this. If they made a sport about go-karts, like college go-kart racing, my ass would be watching that whenever it's on. That has to be the most entertaining thing ever. Imagine hiring somebody from your school to put on a helmet, get a golf cart with all your school's colors on it, and then race around a go-kart track for 30 minutes of the day. Dude,
You'd have every white trailer trash, whatever, Tammy, John Diddley Doe down there go, yeah, that would be not a good time.
I already know without a doubt in my mind, the SEC is going to be a dynasty in that sport.
What about college NASCAR? I bet Alabama would dominate that.
Probably.
That's the best of both worlds for the Alabama man. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Get one time. Let's go. That's not a stray. That's not a stray against Law Tide at all. That's what appeared in my head. Oh,
There'd be a lot of beer drinking.
I forgot to ask, are you or him or anybody attending the Slav Olympics this year?
That's on the cruise.
Yes.
Thing, right? I think he is. I'm not sure. I know I'm not, but I think he's going.
Okay. Cool. Maybe we can plan our own outside of the cruise Slav Olympics, because I unfortunately can't go either. I don't even know who is going actually. That's how.
I think we should one day.
Yeah.
Heck
5 years down the road.
Have a reunion.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Yeah, no, one thing, though, I need to get off the bucket list is I need to go, down to Tuscaloosa for a Tennessee-Alabama game. Because I've never been there. Now, I've been to
Now, we don't
Tuscaloosa
allow
in
mustard
passing.
bottles.
That's going to be a problem, then, because you already know my ass is going to be down there and that. I have no idea what they'll say as compared to what the Georgia people say. I don't. To be fair, I don't think anything, any sort of reaction, could be this Georgia fan pointing straight in my face and going "gay." It's kind of hard to beat that. But who knows? Any of those Alabama fans drunk enough could say something stupid enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Georgia fans are way worse.
Yeah, you're onto something there. Oh, here's one. College ultimate frisbee would be cinema. Ooh. Frisbee. We're a frisbee school, son. Frisbee national champions.
We won the frisbee national championship.
No, but if we did,
I wish.
I'd be running around with that. I don't know if we played in frisbee, hell yeah, I'd be
I still think that Tennessee, and I think we can all agree, Tennessee needs to get a meat judging team. They need to make meat judging a sport in the SEC.
You gotta poke it and pry it and stick holes in it and test it and fry it and bake it and propane.
Oh, God.
God
damn it, Bobby.
Would we have to invite Texas Tech since they're like the meat judging dynasty?
No, they can just stay in the Big 12.
No, keep them away from our precious conference.
Yeah.
Same with Missouri. Send them back.
Yeah, bringing Texas Tech to the SEC is not worth a meat judging championship. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense to me. I think we can keep them in the Big 12. They can take their meat judging championships.
I want y'all to get, so this doesn't have anything to do with meat judging, but can y'all guess who the dynasty is in skydiving national championships?
I think you've already said it. It's Air Force.
Yeah, it's Air Force.
I think you've said that. I think this is the fourth time in this show you've said that.
Yeah, no,
It is.
Whenever y'all bring up this stuff, it always reminds me of like that for some reason, because someone's like, if Air Force ever loses that, we need to defund the academy.
Nate the Great's in the chat. Good evening from Orlando, he says. Is it just you down there, Nate, or is everybody else around you as well?
One thing I'm always surprised about is how Navy's not a great swimming and diving school. That seems like a waste of money.
Well, That is kind of a waste of money. Huh? I
Yeah.
forgot about that. you got me there. You got my ass there. Oh, just your parents. Gotcha. I guess everybody else is doing their own thing, waiting for you to join the cruise. Oh wait, no, the cruise is like next week, or it's this upcoming week. It starts on the weekend, so dang, it's only Monday. Boy, you're down there real early. What the hell are you doing down there so early, Nate? Taking a mini vacation? I can't say I blame you. Here, we'll make your vacation grander by wrapping up the show. All right. Yeah, we've gone way over an hour. Great show, a fantastic show. Even
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and as a rarity, this might be your doing, Taylor, but this is the first time in a while we haven't ended it with me and Lucas screaming at each other. So good work there. Good work there. Yeah.
Right on.
We'll see if we can keep that streak going onwards with our next special guest. So, yeah, appreciate you as always being on here, Taylor. Come back soon here on the Vol-Star Podcast. We're glad to have you over here.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it. Had a good time with you fellas. And until then, I will see you next time. Later.
You know it. See you, buddy. Well, a jolly good show. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and take us out of here so we can wrap this thing up. I got a milkshake that's in the freezer, so I need to drink it.
Oh, okay. I guess all I'm gonna say is go Vols, tighten up. Men's teams are getting hot, and they're getting hot at the right time, man. I mean, what else can I say? And yeah, shout out to Rama James Taylor for showing up. And GG's on the game. I never got a chance to say that, but GG's, it was a heck of a game. And probably the game of the year. Probably the game of the year out of all the games. So yeah, GG's on that, man.
Yeah, practically same thing. Go Vols, and thanks for coming on. And I think that's about it, really.
All right, you heard them all. All right, guys. Appreciate all of you guys for being on here tonight. You all are great people. See us again next Monday as we'll go through another week of Vol Sports, and we'll have another special guest on here to talk about a schedule preview or whatever else they want to talk about. We're glad to have all these special guests on here. We'll see which other content creator we can hunt down for next season or not for next week. And see what his point of view is on whatever it may be. All right, guys. Thank you all again for watching. As always, power to Tardaria. And, of course, go Vols, baby. We'll see you guys next week.
No one